Good morning mga bata. Ngayon pag-uusapan natin ang tinatawag na nating non-Mendelian inheritance. So this video presentation is dedicated for those students who are taking modular learning. So pag sinabi nating non-Mendelian inheritance, it is any pattern of inheritance in which traits do not segregate in accordance with Mendel law. It is very self-explanatory. Any pattern siya ng inheritance na hindi susunod sa Mendel law ay tinatawag na non-Mendelian inheritance. Ano-ano nga ba ang law of Mendel or Mendel's law? The first one is law of dominance. The second one is law of independence, and the third one is law of segregation. Next, let's proceed to unlocking words. There are different terminology that we will encounter when we go through in our lesson. So let's define them one by one in order for us to make our lesson more easier. So the first one is character traits. When we say character traits, it is a personality or qualities that makes them who they are. It is subdivided into two, outside and inside. Outside, these are characteristic na makikita natin katulad ng color ng hairstyle, hairlines, color ng eye, skin color, and inside, these are the qualities of an individual such as being cheerful, friendly, calm, peaceful, etc. Next, when we say genes, it is basically a physical and functional unit of heredity. Genes are made up of DNA. Inside the cell, we have the nucleus, and inside the nucleus, we have chromosomes. When you dissect the chromosomes, you can get a certain or short section of DNA called genes. Genes is responsible for all the characteristics we possess from our parents. Next, let's proceed to Alice. When we say Alice, it is a variant form of genes. Some genes have variety of different forms. For example, in cell, we have chromosome. Inside the nucleus, we have the chromosomes. When we divide the chromosomes into two, it is called chromatid. And in each chromatid, it possesses different alleles. And those alleles is responsible for the character traits na nakukuha natin sa ating mga magulang. In terms of color ng eyes, skin, hairlines, etc. Let's proceed to phenotypes. Pag sinabi nating phenotypes, it is a observable physical or biochemical characteristic of an organism. Ito yung mga namana natin na nakikita ng ibang tao sa atin at nakikita rin natin. Katulad ng color ng eye, hairlines, skin color, etc. Next, let's proceed to genotype. It is an organism complete set of hereditable genes or genes that can be passed down from parents to offspring. Ito yung complete set ng genes na namana natin sa ating magulang. For example, as you can see on the table below, nag-cross tayo ng pea plant. Nag-cross tayo ng yellow and green pea plant. Na kung saan, sila ay both heterozygous yellow. Pero nung krinos natin sila, at the end, may lumabas talaga na green. Kasi nga, ito, dito mapapakita kung ano yung totally na mamamana natin sa ating mga magulang. Next, let's proceed to the next one is homozygous. It is a genetic condition where an individual inherits some alleles for a particular genes for both parents. For example, sa homozygous, pag ikaw ay nakamana ng dalawang both same characteristics sa magulang mo, sa nanay at tatay mo, for example, in terms of hair color, black, BB, capital BB, ikaw ay tinatawag na homozygous black hair. Next, let's proceed to the next one, heterozygous. It refers to having inheritance different form of particular genes for each parents. A heterozygous genotype stands for in contrast to homozygous genotypes, where an individual inherits identical form or a particular genes for each parents. For example, in homozygous, both alleles na same yung namana mo. Pero sa heterozygous, magkaiba yung namana mo sa parents mo. Sa tatay mo yung capital B, for example, black hair, and dun sa small b, brown hair naman yung sa nanay mo. That is what we so-called heterozygous. Next, let's proceed to the next one, dominant. When we say dominant, genes are character traits that manifest, usually expressed in capital letter. For example, BB stands for black eye color. Recessive genes naman are character traits that masked by dominant traits, usually expressed in small letters. For example, if BB is black eye color and small BB is brown eye color. Pag usually, ang dominant, yun yung nakikita natin. And yung recessive, yun yung kadalasang nagtatago pero namana natin sa ating mga magulang. For example, ang tatay mo, straight hair, tas yung nanay mo, curly hair. Pero ang dominant, for example, sa lahi nyo is straight hair, kahit parehas mong namana yung karakteristik nila, pero ang dominant is yung straight hair pa rin yung makikita sa'yo. That is dominant. And pag sinabi natin recessive, nako-cover up ng dominant yung karakteristik na namana mo sa magulang mo. That is recessive. Mga namana mo hindi naman lumabas na itago o natakpan ng dominant traits na namana mo rin sa iyong mga magulang. Next, let's proceed to first filial generation. Pag sinabi nating first filial generation, it is an offspring of distinct different parents type. The offspring shown a combination of phenotypes from each parents that were genetically dominant. For example, nag-cross tayo ng dalawang magulang, nanay at tatay. BB, capital BB stands for black eye color. Small BB stands for brown eye colors. Tapos nagkaroon sila ng test cross. Nag-undergo sila ng test cross. For example, the father is BB, the mother is small BB. Pag nag-cross sila, ang tendency, ito yung makakalabasan ng mga anak nila. Lahat sila ay heterozygous black eye color. Kasi nga, namana nila yung karakteristik ng magulang nila from nanay at tatay. Pero ang lalabas dyan, black eye color. Bakit? Kasi nga, dun sa pinag-usapan natin, nating dominant and recessive traits, mako-cover up ng dominant traits yung recessive traits na namana mo sa nanay mo. Next, let's proceed to the next part. F2. It is also known as second filial generation. It is an offspring from first filial generation. Ang first filial generation, yan yung anak ng magulang. Tapos yung second filial generation, anak ng mga anak. Kumbaga, apo, third generation. Next, let's proceed to the next one, Punnett square. When we say Punnett square, it is a square diagram that used to predict the genotype of a particular cross or breeding experiment. For example, your father is capital R small r, your mother is capital R small r. Pag sinabi nating R means straight hair. Pag sinabi nating small r means curly hair. Sila ay both heterozygous straight hair kasi nagpaposes sila ng capital and small r. So pag renos sila, ang tendency using Punnett square, it is a square diagram na magsasabi kung ano magiging anak nila. So the first child or the first son or daughter ay will be homozygous straight hair kasi naposes yung dalawang dominant character ng both parents. The next son or daughter ay magiging heterozygous straight hair as well, and the third son or daughter magiging straight hair siya kasi nga nagpossess siya ng dominant straight hair and recessive curly hair, pero as we all know, in dominant ruling, i-cover up ng dominant yung recessive traits. Next, lastly, yung pinakahuling anak will be curly hair because na-acquired niya yung dalawang recessive traits from both parents. Next, let's proceed to the next one. Another example sa black eye color. For example, BB stands for black eye color, small BB stands for brown eye color. For example, nagmix sila, nagkaroon ng crossing. So, in first filial generation, all children's are in terms of phenotype, lahat sila ay black eye colors. Kasi nga, nagpossess sila ng different alleles from different parents, pero nako-cover up pa rin ng dominant yung recessive traits which is brown. In terms of genotype, 4 heterozygous black eye colors ang magiging anak nila, but yung pinaka-total percent is black eye color talaga. And lastly, In second filial generation, for example, nakatagpo yung isa sa mga anak nila ng same characteristic. So, i-cross natin sila in second filial generation. So, the first son will be black eye talaga. And the second and third child, black eye din sila. And the last one is brown eye. Bakit? Kasi nga, yung first one, makikita naman natin dominant lahat na nakuha niya. Tapos yung sa second and third one, nakuha niya yung dominant. Kahit may recessive siya, mako-cover up pa rin siya in terms of phenotype. And the last one is yung recessive, nakuha niya lahat talaga. So magiging brown eye siya. In terms of genotype, one homozygous black eye. As you can see on the first box, nakuha niya yung lahat ng dominant. So homozygous black eye talaga siya. Third and second and third, magiging heterozygous black eye siya kasi nga kahit meron siyang recessive traits, mako-cover up pa rin siya ng dominant. So magiging heterozygous black eye siya. And the last one, nakuha niya yung both recessive traits. So lalabas talaga yan. So ang tendency magiging homozygous brown eye siya. So in total, 75% of the children will be black eye color and the rest of the 25% will be brown eye color. So, thank you very much for listening. I hope you learned something this morning. Thank you very much.